fantastic weekend of Formula One racing here on the EGL Extreme Gaming League. I'm Tipsy Bob, and joining me on the mic is my trusty sidekick and my good friend, Dad Pants. Covering all the action today, we're going to be covering everywhere from Monaco, Singapore, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain, all across the world, all across the country. We have a full grid lined up, some of the best talent around the world. We have plucked them from all corners of the earth to give you some of the greatest racing experience viewing footage you'll ever see in your lifetime. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the EGL. There we go, once all the cars are all lining up on the grid. They're all getting ready. The drivers will be focusing on their first corner. Are they going to take it? What are they going to do? Is it going to go deep? Are they going to go? Who knows? Let's break down the way we go! DRS is still active, and if Timo wants to get this moved on, he's gonna need to use this DRS zone because I have a feeling. Oh no, Timo, cancel the crusher into traction zone. My first command up and another overtake on 23 frame mark. This is round 3 quarter. Timo cracks under the pressure once again.
And Timo are oh, it's not pit. Oh no! Oh my god, this is so sorry, control myself. So Timo
I wouldn't be gonna put it so they can stand at the back together again. Just like Timo likes it.
How many times? Did you see how many times Timo tried to get into the pit? Good evening, everybody, for SLR round, I don't know, I lost count. We're at Singapore this evening for the Tier 2 race. And my name is Der Hammer, and joining me is Kebab.
Hello.
Hello. So, yeah, everyone is still in the pit lane currently, as they're probably loading in and picking their setups. Let's take a look at the standings maybe first. Yeah, they should be up right now. It's a tight battle at the front with Iason and McKendor, who overhauled early leader Legend. And Timo has also Timoed his way up, as he's now in P4. So what do you think for tonight?
It's going to be interesting. Singapore is one of the toughest tracks on the calendar for sure. Walls everywhere, high-speed corners, lots of corners. No real resting points at any stage throughout the lap. So it's non-stop, 31 laps, anything can happen. And with Timo catching up on the back of these guys at the top of the championship and being renowned for being able to keep it clean and avoid trouble, he could be doing well at least this evening. So we'll see. It remains to be seen though, because qualifying is all important here. Track position is all important. So it's going to be interesting to see what people do for the qualifying. Everybody seems to be going for the softs. Most people for the soft for the first run.
They're probably setting, like what we've seen so far is people setting a banker lap on softs, but not going completely full. And then going on mediums for their fastest run, as the medium hard seems to be the preferred strategy around here. I'm hearing from Ocean Chief that it's gonna be a dry race, a dry qualifying and a dry race. So that's
going to be relief to a lot of people's ears because this place in the wet, it's hard enough in the dry. Excuse me, but in the wet, definitely. It's nearly impossible. But I did do it. I did a full wet race here in my career on my team.
Nasty.
And I managed to do it with only about 50 restarts after crashing.
Yeah, at least in career you have the replay feature, the flashback feature.
I don't use it in the career. So if I mess up, which I did a lot, even at lap 27, I have to start the whole race again.
As I'm currently also joining the constructor standings, where we have AlphaTauri and Haas in a really, really tight battle. It's only 3 points between the teams, and even then McLaren and Renault are not far behind. So it'll be
not too far behind. No, you can pick up. Obviously, you can pick up 50 points a race for a 1-2 in the constructors, can't you? So they're not that far behind. Like couple of 1-2s away, but question is, do these teams often get 1-2s? Because obviously the variation in drivers from team to team is not the same as it is in real life.
Yeah, I agree. As this is Granite Gore on the first on tires, and I think I have best tires instead of fitted, so this should show a different picture.
Yeah, we've got 3 guys going for the mediums at the moment: Fox, Larson, and Granite, who's the first to be doing a lap here at the moment. Granite, he's out in front, first one out of the pits. So he's going to be setting the standard for people to beat for this session.
Yeah, of course, early in the session, usually the track isn't that fast yet. So most people will be saving their medium run until the end. But I don't know, what's your opinion? I usually...
It very much depends, because I think on this track, specifically this track, some of the slower guys can really kind of... benefit from this because of the nature of the track kind of thing. Because if, say for example, a lot of the top faster guys are going to go for the medium run as being their quickest run, as few of the slower guys can use this opportunity to get a run out on the softs and maybe get into the top 10 where they wouldn't normally, and then go for a soft hard strategy, which isn't in the worst strategy in the world around here.
No, it's not terrible, but
it's not optimal, but obviously, if you're maybe like 5/10 off the pole timing, you're usually qualifying in 13th, 14th, 15th.
Yeah, you can suddenly be top 5.
You can suddenly get to gain like 7 or 8 positions on your normal qualifying time, and that could stand you in very good stead around here, because the track is notoriously difficult to overtake around. There's only maybe 1 or 2 points on the track.
Granite sets at 37.0 and Futuristic at 39.9, and Iason on softs at 35.8.
That is very quick from him. I'm pretty sure Jason can beat that on the mediums though. So like you said, I think people are going to be setting kind of a slow banker at the early stages of the Grand Prix, and then going out on a quicker run on the mediums later.
Yeah, although I've heard stories that Jason is sandbagging again and saying he's bad at this track.
He says that every week.
Yeah, that's true. That's a bit my strategy as well lately. But yeah, he's in provisional pole, so far his theory seems to be disproved.
Yeah, allow me to give you a public congratulations for your victory yesterday here.
Oh,
what a drive! Very lonely race for you.
Yeah, it was. Cannot say. I don't think we'll see a lonely race from somebody here though. It's really tight at the top in tier 2. If you have a bad day, you're suddenly 10 positions behind. And Fox, that's a really good time at 36.5 on mediums, as with the early track that is.
Yeah, that's not too bad yet, but we'll see how things play out as more times will start to flood in here. See if we can find anybody on a lap.
Yeah, I'm wondering, there's some well-known reserves with Icewind in, but there's also some in that I know of, and it's Oops. I know him from COR, and he's a bad user, and he only uses line. He's pretty fast, especially in hot laps and qualifying, and in race he kind of struggles. But I'm interested to see him in this tier and to see how he stacks up against the guys like Iason, Makanda, Legend. And he has chosen the sauce for his first run.
It's always interesting to see a new boy come in. See how they're moving forward. We've already seen him in tier 4 this week.
Yeah,
and
was
he kind of blew it away a bit.
Yeah. And he does a slow first run. 38.2.
Yeah, 38.2 on the soft. So I'm guessing he's probably taken up a lot of fuel and maybe slowed down in a few sectors just to go on a medium run later.
He's just sandbagging, I think.
Yeah.
Also another interesting name that I know of is Cupson. I also know him from COR, but he's racing in like 5 or 6 leagues that I know of.
Busy man.
Yeah, and he's also really fast, like fighting for the top of the championship there. So I think he'll be close to the top 5 here as well. And Icewind, yeah, I don't think we have to say anything about Icewind's pace.
Yep, he's pretty quick, yeah. But Icewind's main problem at the moment, he'll won't mind me saying this at the moment, is penalties. He picks up penalties like they're going out of fashion. So they sometimes hurt him a lot, and they hurt him a lot in tier 1. They hurt him a lot here in tier 2 at times as well. So he's not guaranteed a win here by any means. He is quick, but tier 2 drivers are quick in themselves. So Heat Larson, Jason Larson, and the other guys at the top end of the field kind of thing can all kind of challenge with him. But he has won a race here, that's for sure. That's sure as well. So he's sitting nice low.
Maybe Icewind does a lot of rally racing as well, so he isn't really used to track limits or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, Icewind's definitely gonna be in the better half of the field, I reckon. Although he did say Singapore is not his favorite track or something.
It's not many people's favourite track, I'll be honest. I do enjoy it though, I have to admit. I go against the grain on this one and say I really enjoy this track. It's less about kind of outright pace and more kind of about cleanliness and keeping it smooth. And I like that about this track.
Joel has abandoned his lap, so now we are following out X Crystals, who we've also seen as a really good qualifier, and I would like to say hot lapper, but that's maybe a mid. I mean, he does have race pace as well, of course, but he's extremely quick in the races as well. He's got a lot of pace. His issue comes with keeping it within the limits the entire time. He tends to spin a lot. Sometimes ruins his races or gets a bit of damage and things like that with a spin in or a bit of contact here or there. But his pace is definitely there. He's definitely got the pace to keep with this guy. When he has and he does the pole with a 35.0
on the mediums as well. So yeah, setting the standard for the mediums now. He's gone for the first. That's the first quick lap that we've seen on the mediums. We're going to start seeing other people come out on the mediums now and compete with that, I think.
To be honest, I'm expecting like a mid, maybe low 34, maybe even a high 33. But
I mean, that could be pushing it. That would be really something to see. It's a high 33 on the mediums. On the softs, yeah, I can almost guarantee somebody could do that on the softs.
Yeah, definitely.
But, on the mediums, which most people would want to be starting on the mediums because the medium hard strategy is just so much more powerful around here. But you never know. Somebody at death might go for a soft lap just because they feel they need to get the positions, and and take pole with that.
And the thing, I mean, it is still a street circuit, so you might be, especially if you're a slower driver, you might be thinking, okay, if I qualify in softs and there's an early safety car, then maybe everybody gets forced onto the different strategy, and then you have track position. And as we all know, it's not easy to pass on Singapore. I mean, there is more DRS zones than there was last year, but it's still not easy to pass someone. It's Vicky with a really good time, a 34.7. That's already
that was very impressive.
faster than we've seen before on mediums in the other tiers.
Yep, we've got a few people who set decent time on the mediums there, but we're seeing a big spread. And that's the thing about this, the very nature of this track, it being so technical and so twisty-turny, not many straights or easy corners, to say that. It's difficult
a driver circuit. Yeah,
it's difficult to put a lap together, like a full clean lap kind of thing. So a lot of drivers you'll see here with these times of 39s and things almost certainly have made a mistake somewhere, or purposely slowed down for that first run.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
We're getting the business end of the qualifying now, so we're starting to see some of those quick times go in. Gerla gets a P3. That's a pretty quick time from him. Him and Sonny are generally very close together with each other on track, on pace as well, so we expect to see a decent time coming in from Sonny as well. Put him in the top 10 at least.
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to tell this, but I've seen Sonny do a 34.6 on mediums before. So he could be up there.
Yeah, a 34.6 on mediums, that will put him in pole in this qualifying at the moment.
Yeah, still some fast people who haven't set a lap yet, like Dragon,
yep,
Cubson, Icewind, Sonny.
I think these guys maybe just invalidated on purpose or came in after, did a couple of laps on the soft, invalidated one and then came in. You know, I mean, just don't want to set a lap early in the session.
Dragon is now on a lap, but he's on the softs. That's interesting.
He's going to be pushed for time. If he's on a lap at the moment, he's never going to get back in and get back out to do another lap on a mediums.
No, that's why I was a bit surprised. Like, why? Or is he not completing this lap, going in and then changing? That could be a thing.
Then maybe he'd have enough time. Maybe just, but yeah, like it's very tight for time in the qualifying in this Grand Prix. You can maybe get 3 runs in it, and that's at a push as well. If you waste any time or go an extra lap, that 3 runs can quickly become only 2.
And it's a long lap as well. And also in race, it's 31 laps. It's probably one of the longest or the longest race on the calendar in terms of time spent, because it just takes a lot out of you.
Driver concentration to the limit as well. Yeah, so we do see a lot of incidents in the lap.
Dragon dust goes into the pit, by the way. So
yeah. Legend still hasn't set a lap as well. We've got Legend here who's currently called Dupentupa. I'm not sure what that means and which language.
No, I have no idea. Maybe played another game. As Oops did invalidate, so that's an oopsie. You'll have to go another lap. And Legend is now showing us in the pit to me. So
I'm gonna have to call a ban on Oops cliches in the commentary early, because I already made 2 of those in tier 4. So it's gonna get old real quick if we keep making that joke. But yeah.
I think he once told me the story as how he chose his nickname, but I forgot already because I'm old.
Oh well.
What
can you do? What can we do about that? We'll all get old.
As Joel also invalidated, so he switched to Cubson now.
Joel, another one of those who, we've got so many drivers here in this tier, that why it's such a tight tier. We've got so many drivers who on their day can compete at the top level of this tier kind of thing. Not many people here are without points in the championship. Let's put it that way, kind of thing. At least somebody's at some point in the season has had a great race. But it's just that it seems that some are more consistent than others. It seems to be in the championship at the moment.
Yeah, that's the thing. And also in this tier, if you have an incident and there's no safety car, it's really difficult to come back, because everybody's so close together. It's I mean, we saw in last race, Italy, when the field was brought back together to the safety car that you got so many position changes on penalties because they just keep close to each other. Cubson with a 35-1.
I think the Singapore is a unique track in the way that it doesn't really, like Spain almost kind of thing, it doesn't really adhere to like very close racing because the dirty air is so effective around here kind of thing. It gaps form quite quickly. And you see that we're seeing this in the qualifying at the moment as well. Obviously, people aren't getting their times in. They're getting invalidated laps and things like that kind of thing. So we're seeing a big difference in the qualifying here in Singapore compared to other tracks on the calendar that we've had in Tier 2 this season. Ordinarily, we're seeing like a second between P1 and P10, or P1 and P13, 14, 15 sometimes. Yeah. But here, we're seeing a second between P1 and P7.
That's what we. Yeah, that's just the circuit for you. As Oops is now really pushing, and he's on a good lap, which is not invalidated now. Maybe a bit wide there, but comes to the line in 34.5 provisional pole, but we still have some fast guys to come.
Yeah, it looks like Oops is just Crystals is just starting his lap. He may be contending for the win there. Cubson's managed to put in a very quick medium lap there as well. Makenda coming up behind him in 5th, the championship contender, of course. Jason as well. Look at the championship contenders here. Like, they're saying it wasn't their track really, but the qualifying is kind of proving them right.
Iceland's time, I think. I was trying to find Iceland, but oh no, he's still
so that's the set one. But Legends on a lap at the moment. We've got everybody rushing out.
Iceland invalidates. He invalidates at 35.2, so that would have brought him to P5. But unfortunately,
that's unfortunate. He could be starting from the back of the grid then. He's not going to have time for another run. There's probably a minute 26 left on the clock. As I'm following on board at the moment with Legend, who's clearly on a very fast lap on the mediums.
Yep. Yeah, he's close to the split I saw before. Yeah, so it's gonna be a great time.
Yeah. And he's struggling a bit more in the championship at this tail end of the season, so he needs to kind of. In the past, maybe he's been a bit lackadaisical about his lead, and it's kind of come back to bite him because he doesn't have it anymore. So now he's going to be surely pushing for the highest spot that he can get here. See what he does when he comes across the line.
Yeah, as you said before, there's a driver circuit, so maybe this should suit him better. And he sets a 34.4, and it's a new pole position for Legend. As Sonny sets a 35 flat.
Yeah, Sonny will be maybe disappointed with that. He could have done better if he's done a 34.6 in practice. 4/10 off his personal best there, but yeah, Legend, what a lap to put himself pole. Is there anybody who can still compete with that?
Jason, he's down on the split, but at least Jason is improving, but it's not going to be enough for pole. And I'm struggling to find anybody else. I think Makenda already invalidated when I looked at him, so...
Vinny is out there on the softs at the moment as well.
Dragon maybe. Dragon or Ice. Jason comes
Iceman
first.
Has invalidated on his lap by the looks of things, so his qualifying's over. Dragon's coming across the line now.
Jason P7. And Dragon
P4. Not bad.
Definitely not bad. And Timo pits, so I think that's it, unless Joel...
It's just Vinny left on a lap at the moment. I think he's on the soft.
Joel's also on a lap. It's Joel and Vinny. Joel on mediums and Vinny on softs.
Joel just in front of him on the track as well, so... Looked like maybe Vinny got a little bit out of shape there in the Anderson tunnel, and he does invalidate. He's invalidated, so he's coming straight into the pits after this.
And Joel goes to P11, which at least gives him freedom of tyre choice.
Yeah, I actually chose to go for the hards at the beginning because I was so far down the grid, but I expect that you'll find a lot of the guys from 11th, maybe like 14th, 15th, they'll all go for the medium tyres to try and keep up with the leaders. And in case of early safety car as well. But Gerler, very unfortunate, he's going to be the only person on the soft tyre at the start. So he's going to be Oh, actually, no, tell a lie. His best is actually on the medium.
Ah, it was the fitted
So
tires.
it was the fitted tires of the soft at the moment, but his best time was on the medium.
Tires are
So,
all,
he's fine.
yeah. You're
So
right.
yeah, I imagine everybody in the top 10 is going to start the medium hard strategy. That's the case here, and then everybody behind is going to go for top 5, maybe 6, maybe a couple of drivers in the bottom 10 are going to go for hards to start with, but we'll probably see not many going for that.
Yep.
But
maybe a safety car could change things around. At least we got the pad hacks users in 1 and 2 with Legend and Oops.
Yep.
And then Vicky
So-
in P3. But Vicky is maybe a bit of a... Well, we've seen he's fast before, but it's maybe a bit of a surprise to see him in the top 3. So good job by him.
Yeah, he's generally pretty quick in practices and things, but in the races and things, he's usually kind of just outside of the fighting for the top places. But he's generally there or thereabouts. So this is a great qualifying for him. But yeah, Dragon, Sunny, Crystals, Kubzon, Yates, and McKenda filling out the rest of the top 10. But yeah, as we've seen before, it's difficult to overtake here. So the first couple of laps, like people may kind of
Yeet
get ahead of themselves and try and get too much done while cars are still close together and taking odd lines. And things could get interesting in the first opening laps. But this is a tier that's renowned for its cleanliness as well, especially in race starts. So be interesting to see.
And the thing is, with Singapore, at least what I've seen so far, is that gaps open up pretty fast.
Yeah, especially after the first round of pitting. But since everybody here is going for the same strategy, it's been different in the other tiers. Tier 2 and 3, 4 and 3. People have very differing strategies with a lot of soft runners in the top 10. But here in tier 2, I think people have got a feel for the track, feel for the strategies that work and don't work. And we're going to see everybody on the mediums at the start. So strategy and pit timing is going to come less into play, but the undercut and the overcuts are important here, especially if you're coming in or out of traffic.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what the tire choices are outside the top 10. Joel, Granite Goran, Nico Rosberg and Icewind all chose the hard tire. So they're going for the opposite strategy. And everyone else is on mediums, as you would expect. Yeah, the predicted top strategy you can probably ignore because there's nobody going medium, soft, medium, I think.
Well, that can happen if people get an early pit stop. They don't feel as though they want to go with the hards for long. They can go up for a 2-stop strategy. It's ill-advised, but it's an option. But the softs kind of are so bad around here. They last 4 or 5 laps at the most. After that, the mediums are quicker anyway. So you really want to be on the medium or the hard tyre.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I wonder if Icewind can make any headwind here.
I mean, we know his qualifying time. He could have got himself in a P6, 7, or 8 kind of situation. So you'd expect him to be able to match pace with those drivers up there. So the drivers in between him and them, he should be able to clear. But he's on a hard tyre, so he's going to take him a while to heat those up. So he's not going to.
Yeah.
He's basically what those hard guys want to do, which I managed to do yesterday, is keep it clean and stay out of trouble. And just the positions will come to you as people bump their wings and cause themselves problems, kind of thing. You just got to take it nice and slow, warm the tyres up, and then get into a nice rhythm, so you can start overtaking the medium runners as they come into pit and their tyres get old.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not a long game here, really, essentially.
I did the same strategy as you in 2S when I qualified P11, and it takes about 3-4 laps before the hards really get going, and they kept getting faster until they reached the breaking point, the point that they start to slide in the rears especially.
Yeah, I think I pitted early, so before they ever started to slide yesterday, I pitted like 18, I think it was. The mediums the hards can pretty much do the whole race. One guy in tier 4 did 30 laps on the hards.
I think I did 20, so see if we can get a good camera angle for the start as the drivers are lining up. It doesn't really, but that's that's what we've come to expect from the game.
Yeah, I've got a nice one here, but obviously not what everybody else is saying. But you take the start, Wick. You've got control of the camera, and I'll keep an eye on things at the back.
The lights go out and away we go. And it looks like both front runners are off to a good start. Ooh, Oops was already really close, but Legend cut him off. So they hold positions for now. Sonny gained a position, but Dragon is gaining it back. They're still wheel to wheel. And it seems like Dragon kept that position for now.
Oh, bit of a wall bump there in the midfield.
Yeah, EA's and X Crystals, and there's other cars behind. They're going almost 3 wide there, but it looks like it's all safe and clean for now.
Yeah, very clean start there from everybody. Doesn't look like he's even picked up any slight damage or anything. But yeah, Legend keeps a hold of the top spot. And Open Vicky, as it's proven, it's very difficult to overtake you, even on the first lap. Not a lot of changes so far.
And Iceland even made up 2 positions, starting from the hearts in last place.
Yeah, Cooper managed to get Sonny and Crystals as well. Crystals is a big loser here. He's dropped down 5 positions. Coop's on gets himself from P7 up to P5 though.
Yeah,
a good start from him.
So far the field is still really close in the top 10. No gaps appearing yet. Everybody's still within the DRS range. Maybe a little gap from Gerla on, but...
Yeah, but Gerla is... Oh no, he's not on the soft tires. We established that already, did we not? So...
Yeah, that was me showing the fitted tires. As Legend, don't be fooled by his name here. It's definitely Legend in P1, not some new guy. Of course,
as we have X Crystals in the pits. Ooh. He's obviously picked up some damage there on the first lap. Not great start from him. He'll have to catch up at the back of the field.
Yeah,
quickly.
They're replacing his wing, and Fox already gets a penalty. That's pretty early.
That is very early to get a penalty. Yeah. Imagine he's going to pick up maybe 1 more before the end, even if he drives cleanly. It's a difficult track. Nico Rosbart now losing some positions there. Something happened to him. Not sure what. But he seems intact, nothing untoward by the looks of things. Maybe he's just made a mistake. He is on the hard tyres. He'll be waiting for those to warm up. Does he lose more positions? He seems to be really struggling there.
I think he has damage. Otherwise it doesn't really make sense why you would slow down that much. Or maybe he made a mistake and his tyres are a bit hot.
I think possibly. Maybe he's just taking it a bit easy because he made a mistake and now he's trying not to make another one. His tyres are a bit too cold. But yeah, he's lost out quite a few positions there. But Icewind has gained out of that massively. He's now on the back of Granat Goran.
Yeah, he's already in P16, so...
fellow countrymen, I believe. Both Finns. Yeah, top 3 now. At least. Yeah, top 3 now are creating a bit of a gap now to Dragon. And Koob's on a little bit off Dragon as well. So gap's starting to form already, as predicted.
Yep. Trying to find a battle here, but Sonny is pretty close to Cubson. It's only 3/10. Might be eyeing up a move down to the next straight, but of course it's not. Is it DRS this lap or next? I think it's this. Yeah, DRS
this
is
one. Yeah, so yeah, it's going to open here. So he's going to have the DRS here, and Koobson doesn't have it.
Is he? Yeah, he's definitely close enough.
Yep, he's down the inside, and he seems to be ahead. Should get that move done cleanly. Yeah, very nice. So now he's the head of the DRS back.
Ooh, but Cubson fights back and he spins. Yeah, there was no space there. That wasn't a good move for him.
Could not have put his nose in there. Like no space for that whatsoever. Puts his nose in where it doesn't belong and rightly gets it bitten off. Sonny might not be too pleased with that because that could have damaged his race there, but he comes out unscathed.
Yeah.
And you'll be thankful for that, I'm sure. Yeah, that's one for the FIA to deal with after the race, I'm sure. But Jason does seem a bit of a train forming here now behind
Dragon.
He doesn't seem to be able to keep up with the front runners here. Vicky, Oops, and Legend. Legend's also created a sizable gap to Oops, so he seems to be in the mood for a race like yours. Like, just get the lead and keep it.
Yeah, move away. Clean air is the best air. But yeah, Vicky is also still close to Oops, so that's gonna be a fight. And then the rest seems to be out of range of the top 3 already. But yeah, the race is long. It's 31 laps. Anything can happen. The sky is blue, etc., etc. It's
yeah. Sonny looking maybe eyeing a move on Dragon here if he gets close within this first group of corners.
Yeah, but another thing, interesting thing to mention is that ERS recovery around here is near non-existent. So you really have to be smart with when you use it to make an overtake only, and then don't use it anywhere else. Because I noticed mine didn't recover at all. I was at like 10% the whole race.
Yeah, pretty much. I noticed the same thing. Yeah, you basically need to use it only when you have to. If you're just outside of DRS range, use it then. If you're about to overtake somebody, but it's very difficult to overtake people here. So you've got to be right up them, right up their gearbox before you can consider a move.
That's true. As I see Cupson pitted, so I think he also had wing damage from that crash.
Yeah, he probably hit the wall in that, and the walls are unforgiving here on full damage. If you tap them even the lightest bit,
ooh, and now Cupson retired.
Yeah.
Is that maybe... No, he retired on track, I think.
Just after the pits, he'll just come by, so it's possible that he retired in the pits and it just took a while. Yeah, it does that sometimes.
That's
so we're giving the benefit of the doubt there, but it's also possible that he came out of the pits, saw how far he was behind, and
thought, nah.
Nah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with Singapore. Safety cars are prevalent here. Somebody else looks like they're coming in the pit.
Dragon already? Does Dragon maybe have wing damage? I think so. Because it doesn't make sense to take the mediums to lap 5 and then pit. Yeah, and they're ready. Ferrari is ready with a new red wing. So yeah, it's not a good day for the Scuderia. We're now in P17 and P18. They're trying to stay true to real life, I guess.
Yeah, I was about to say you'd never see anything such as this in real life, would you? You'd never. It would be unheard of, would it not? But sarcasm in full display. Yeah, it looks like Oops is under real pressure now. Vicky.
Yep.
At the moment, so he's losing time to Legend. They're both losing time to Legend, having to fight each other at the moment. So Legend sitting pretty at the moment. But yeah, safety car would change all of that. A lot of things could change that. If Vicky gets past and can create a gap, he could quickly maybe close in on Legend. And it obviously depends on pit stops here as well now, because pit stops could come into this, because the undercuts, I believe, is quite powerful here.
Yeah, Vicky is looking really pacey. Yeah, he was already good in qualifying, and now he's showing his race pace around here is pretty good as well, and he's putting a lot of pressure on Oops. And I think he'll probably try a move next lap, because he also is on 70% ERS. I don't know how much Oops has.
54.
Yeah.
So not as much. So he's conserving it well, is Vicky. Legend is on 60% as well, so he looks like he's trying to kind of create a gap to these guys at the moment.
You should use this straight to get as close to him as possible, and then use the next longer straight, which comes after the next corner, to overtake him. That's basically the best overtaking spot there is.
Yeah, down that main straight with the DRS. You get the DRS down the start-finish straight to get close. You keep it nice and clean through those corners where the dirty first corner, where the dirty air doesn't affect you so badly, and if you can get stay close to the back of them, it's an almost sure overtake into the braking zone of turn 5. But everywhere else on the track is very difficult to make an overtake anywhere else at all. So
as Vicky didn't make an attempt yet, and McKender is also close to Sonny but not able to make a move yet. And then there's some gaps with P6, P7, P8, P9 all pretty far apart from each other. And then there's the Joel train with Futuristic, Vinny and Timo, and even Icewind now pretty close behind. The battle for points.
Joel's essentially holding these 3 medium runners up, and they want to get past them as quick as possible. And it's down to Futuristic to make that move happen first, and then others can follow essentially. But Futuristic doesn't seem to be able to get it done. He keeps falling in and out of the range to make an overtake. But we'll see what he can do on this next lap. But Icewind has made steady in progress throughout this race. Now up to P13. Could be looking at points soon.
Yeah, he's looking good, and Granat following him around. And yeah, Joel, I mean, he might be holding those people up, but he is the best of the hard runners. So even for Joel, it looks good, as he, as Pretorius reminds me, he only finished 2 of the last 9 races, and now he pits. So
Yeah, so
forget everything I said about Joel. Apparently.
I'm not sure why he's pitting there. Has he picked up some damage? They've got a win waiting for him. So yeah, he has. He's lost an end plate. So he's pitting early on the hards. Go for the mediums. I don't think those mediums are going to get to the end from there. He's going to have to pit again, maybe near the end for the softs.
So just as I was saying, he was the best of the hard runners and it was looking good. He pits and does this. Does this. So yeah, I'll not say anything about Joel again.
But yeah, that's plays in everybody's hands behind all those medium runners, especially. They can now maybe try and get away from Icewind. But Icewind, if he can stay on the DRS train here, it should be easy for him to do. As those medium tires are going to start to wear a bit now.
Yeah, I think we'll see people into the pit from lap 9 until lap 12, 13 if you really want to stretch it.
Yeah.
That's about the range they go. Like yesterday we saw an early pit stop by Gross Jeans or Matthias, which also forced me into an early pit stop to cover him off. And then Tara went longer to what you would normally do, like lap 12. And he had the advantage at the end. So there's still some people who might consider, especially if they're in this train, who might consider an undercut. And,
yeah, the undercut is strong, but the problem with it is, obviously, is that if you undercut too early, then the guys come out on fresher tyres, and if they have stayed out of trouble and kept on the DRS train, and you come out in the wrong place in traffic, it can make a huge difference to what happens. Just exactly where you come out in the pack.
Yeah, Sonny now also gets a 3-second penalty. We've seen some penalties flying.
Yep, Icewind picked one up early on as well, as Crystal's picks one up there as well.
He already had several, I think.
Yeah, so got the main big gap at the moment is between Drago Crystals and Joel, who've all pitted recently due to damage. There's a bit of wing flying there, I think, but maybe it was just left on the track from earlier and just flung up by a tyre.
Yeah, but, the Joel train now turned into the Vinny train, with Vinny, Futuristic, Timo, Icewind, Granite Goron, Larson, Heat and Nico Rosberg all from P9 to P16. So yeah.
Yeah, there's a big train going on there.
Points.
And it was originally Futuristic who was ahead of this train, and Vinny's managed to get past him. And he's already creating a gap there. He's got him out of DRS for this third DRS zone on the track, I think it is.
Kender gets a penalty, by the way.
So that could be important come the end of the race. He is fighting at the top there for things. But Sonny doesn't seem to be able to make a gap to McKenna, but McKenna has created a big one to Jason. So Jason is struggling compared to his usual pace around Singapore. He was not lying when he was said he struggled. Yeah, because ordinarily he would be up there fighting with
I agree. He's not sandbagging
their own.
As Gerla pits, so he's one of the first of the medium runners that pit without having wing damage. And Futuristic does the same.
Yeah, so early pit stops there from those two. Let's see how it plays out for them. They should come out ahead of the other guys who pit early. And
Vicky still really close to Oops, but not really managing to do something, as there's a yellow in sector 1, and is that Larson? I think it is. Yeah, Larson has spun around. Not sure what happened.
And X-Crystal's
retired.
So yeah, he's done that in the pits there. I'm wondering if he's gotten small damage essentially and just giving up, because with that much damage, twice pits in the first 10 laps kind of thing, he thinks obviously thinks his race is over. At that stage, once you get lapped here, it is pretty much race over, because the safety car at that stage isn't going to save you.
Nope.
Because you'll be stuck in the middle of the pack anyway without being able to unlap yourself. So At a certain point, it is beyond hope. Yeah.
As Tipsy Bob asked what happened to Cubson, well, he was passed by Sonny and then tried to re-overtake in a space where you can't, and then he spun around, and that was...
Lost his front wing, yeah. Came into the pits and retired.
Oh, Tipsy, don't talk about food, I'm hungry now. He's talking about an absolute beast of a chicken burger and chips.
Yeah, one chicken was
while
found in the
watching the
making
race.
of this meal, he says, yeah. I would imagine so, because, yeah, you can't really make a chicken burger without harming a chicken.
I imagine you have a bag of popcorn by your side, or...
Larson's struggling with his wing damage. He's going to get put down into the last position before he can pit again.
Yeah, he's gonna pit for sure. We're right about the time that we might see more pit stops this lap. Blech.
Yeah, interesting to see what happens between Oops and Legend now, because it looks as though Oops is shaking off Vicky. Vicky used most of his ERS to try and get past Oops, couldn't do it, and then essentially fallen back off him now, essentially. Yeah. So gaps forming all over the place.
And after Legend pulled that initial gap on Oops, he isn't really gaining anything anymore. So it could still be an interesting race for the second half to see who has the better pace on the hards.
Yeah, definitely. But Legend definitely in the advantage. Has the advantage at the moment. He's got more DRS at the moment as well, sitting on around 80%. So he used that ERS to get the gap, and now he's just conserving for any inevitable fights. The problem with Singapore is obviously the concentration levels required for this. Even Legend, great guy that he is, and he's good at this, and concentration levels, can make a mistake here that costs him an end plate. So Vicky's going for the undercut here.
Yeah.
On these guys.
That might be
so
smart.
Plates to stay out. McKenna picks as well. He's also going for the undercut on Sonny.
Yeah, that might be great for them if they don't land in that big train behind. Because if they do, it's gonna be pretty difficult. And by the looks of it, they are coming. Where's Vicky coming out? Now they might still have some clean air, but they're pretty close to the train. As Oops also gets a 3 seconds time penalty, so that's not gonna help him.
Nope, that's not. He's got a 5-second penalty going into the pits there himself as well.
So yeah, the interesting part here. Sorry. The interesting part here is that Vicky is now 3 seconds behind the train, but there's still 3 hard runners in front of him. So I think even the leaders, maybe not Legend, but even the leaders might become a bit stuck behind the guys on older hards. That'll be interesting.
Possible, yeah. I mean, it depends. We'll see how quickly Vicky can navigate, catch up to Rosbot, essentially, Nico Rosbot, and see what happens there. Because I noticed that there's a big difference with the tyre wear on even 10 lap, 14 lap old hards compared to new ones. Huge delta difference. You're talking, especially with the guys being quicker anyway, because they qualify quicker and got the mediums first, you know what I mean? With the tyres on top of that kind of thing, you're talking 7/10 to a second a lap.
Yeah, I think it only took me 1 lap to overtake Inferno, who was an old hard or old mediums ahead of me while I was on fresh hards. Oh, and Icewind spins around Finney. Icewind hits Finney in the back, and he spins him around, and now Icewind has wing damage, and Finney lost a lot of positions.
Oh, drama.
Oh dear, Icewind.
Does look as though Vinny's okay though. He's going to carry on. He has got no damage, so he gets away with that one a bit.
And the leaders pit as well. So Legend, Oops have pitted now, and Oops has become behind Vicky. So the undercut worked for Vicky. And McKender also jumped Dragon and Sonny. Or Sonny, he was behind Sonny, right? Was he
undercut proves very good here. Yeah. Dragon has managed to make up quite a few places after his early pit stop
that's
for
the
the hard as well.
Yeah, Dragon of course.
He's now in between McKenna and Sonny, and I've seen somebody else take the hards all the way to the end from lap 1, so I'm sure Dragon can do it as well. So he's in a great position for a recovery drive here, Dragon.
I think in practice I pushed the hard still 25 laps and they still felt fine, so it's definitely possible that the Dragon might go to the end. And it's also going to be an interesting thing with the penalties, because we've seen some, like Oops for sure has 3 seconds.
Yeah, that could be big. Iceman picks up another 3-second time penalty. I feel as though I may have cursed him by saying that his Achilles heel was penalties, because he's picking them all up now.
Yeah, Vicky trying to pass Nico Rosberg on the old hards, but he failed doing so. And that brings Oops right back at his rear. So
the thing, they've got caught in the traffic, essentially.
Yeah, and the thing is, Legend is ahead of Nico Rosberg.
Yeah.
Has something happened with Heat and Futuristic, but they're on their way again. So Legend might pull the decisive gap in the race here, as Vicky now again passes.
Icewind takes advantage of Heat struggling there after something with Futuristic and takes him as well. Icewind's race not gone to plan whatsoever, because he's now on the mediums. I don't know if he's going to be able to get those mediums to the end. It's going to be touch and go.
It's going to be hard. Yeah, Icewind actually, he was looking really good, and then the incident happened.
Yeah, that's the thing about that hard strategy. If you go for the hards from the back of the grid, you cannot get any damage or anything in your first stint. If you do, it's got to be very near the end of the stint.
Yeah.
It cannot be at the beginning or the middle. That is just disaster for your strategy.
As Oops is now trying it in a really tricky spot on Nico Rosberg, but he somehow makes it work. Yeah, it's just a better grip, I guess.
I guess it's just he's counting a lot on Rosbot seeing him coming there and taking a wide line.
But just in the space of that few corners, he did lose 1.5 seconds to Vicky.
Yeah, because fighting will do that. Yeah, so especially around in odd places in Singapore. As well. If you do it on the straight, maybe it wouldn't have cost him so much time, but you can't afford to waste time.
I don't think he had the patience for it. He was seeing Vicky speed away and was thinking, I have to go now.
Yep, pretty much he's right to do that as well, though, I suppose. I'm guessing that maybe Rosbot recognises that as well, hopefully. But yeah, you had to get the move done and get it done quickly, so you had to take a risk there. Legend puts in the fastest lap on the hards. Yeah. So, yeah, but we will see that beaten by some of the guys who started on hards and go to the mediums.
Definitely, yeah, I'm expecting a 38 or maybe even a 37. Or maybe somebody goes on softs late in the race and even sets a 36.
Yeah, almost certainly. Joel is almost certain to go on the softs near the end, I think, because his mediums aren't going to last till the end. But he is making good headway while he's on the mediums.
Yeah, and you know, there's always that one guy who is in the rear who hasn't had his race and who decides to go in on softs like 5 laps before the end to get the fastest lap. We've seen that happen before.
McKenna gets past Nico Rosbot there on the main overtaking straight.
And Vicky gets past Granite Goran here, who's also on those old hards. So yeah, the old hard runners definitely having an impact on the battle on the top 3, as Legend now has a 5-second gap. Oh no, 2-second gap, sorry. 2.8 second gap on Vicky.
Yep. Jason is choosing to extend, Jason and Fox both choosing to extend their medium runs quite a bit as well. And this worked out in previous races in Tier 3 and 4 for some people. Extending that run, like you said, Terra extended his as Oops is going around the outside of Granite Goran there. And the side-by-side into the Singapore sling, and that's very dangerous.
Oh, but he made it work.
Granite backs it out. I think he was right to do so there. He was the guy in the position that had to back out, essentially. Oops did get his nose in front. Yeah, but it's great racing from the two of them. They show the respect there, but not to give it up.
Jason and Fox pits. It will be interesting to see where they come out. I think they'll come out near the back of the top 10, because we've seen the undercut is pretty powerful around here. But they will have the fresher tires at the end, as you pointed out.
Yeah, but difference of a couple of laps is not going to make a huge difference around here, where it's already difficult to overtake. What really matters around here, I guess, is the ability to drive in dirty air.
I'll tell you what, Jason even comes behind Joel, who had a wing change.
Yeah.
So that just shows you how much
the undercut was worth. Yeah.
As Iceman said, that 38 flat on mediums.
Pretty quick.
I'd say.
Pretty quick indeed. He's going to be on a charge here with the mediums to try and get up as high as he can. because he may have to pit again, especially if he's second fastest laps here. He's not taking care of those tyres by the looks of it.
McKendor pretty close to Granite Goran.
Yeah,
the hard runners, they could stay out until like lap 20.
Yeah, roughly.
Easily.
Like, I mean, I don't think the tyres are going to be in puncture territory until say like 24 or so. But the question is, how early do you want to get onto the quicker tyre? Because that's
Oh,
important.
McKendor does nearly the same thing as we saw earlier in the race with Cupson,
Yeah.
passing in a wrong spot. And he
They had the
nearly
inside line
spun.
there, and it is a corner you can overtake on that one. We saw Oops do it to Granite Goran the lap previous, but he had the outside line there. McKenna tried it on the inside and it didn't work. But no damage. He'll try again here. He's got another better chance here on his main straight, but too impatient there maybe.
Yeah.
Granite Goran had a much better run compared to him there.
Granite Goran, is he giving the position or why? Or is he just defending the inside? Yeah, it looks
I'm
like
not
he's
sure.
given the position.
I'm not sure whether he just got a very bad exit, but it did look like he just gave it
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah, that's why. It looked like he was lifting as well, so that's why I wondered. Maybe he's like, okay, I just want to keep it clean and do my own race, and he knows he cannot fight these guys. That's also
Well,
a
the thing is,
possibility.
He can fight them, and it's in his interest to do so, because he wants to slow those guys down so that when he comes out in the mediums, he's closer to the pack.
Dragon on Rosspot, Ferrari battle, and Dragon makes it work.
Sonny's very close at the back of two Ferraris here.
Yeah, so luckily
Yep.
no Vettel Leclerc shenanigans here. They're still alive.
So Sonny will just be wanting to kind of keep it together here and store energy, essentially, until he can find a spot to pass, and hope that Dragon's just a lot quicker than his teammate and create a gap.
Yep.
But the two Ferraris are close to track. If they're working together, it's bad news for Sonny.
And Sonny doesn't have much ERS in reserve either. He is now 37%, which on this circuit is not a lot. Because if you have to use it to overtake, you'll be down to almost nothing.
Yeah, but Nico is sitting on 17% at the moment, so not a lot there
Yeah,
either. So he should
but probably get him on the next
Nico
race.
already off of DRS by the looks of things from Dragon. So
Yeah,
Sonny should be able to take him once he loses the DRS. But Oops is right on the back of Vicky again. Interesting battle for second place here, but Legend keeping it nice and tidy. He's still sitting on 86% ERS. So if anybody even gets close to him, he can really fend them off quite easily with all of that ERS reserve saved up.
and Legend has no penalties as well, so it's
Oops
looking
has
really
the
good
one.
for him.
Yeah.
As I'm
Yeah.
reading chat, but it's just going on for something with Papa Beaver and Cartoon for Kids. I don't know. Maybe the race is not that interesting. I don't know.
You
Looks
can only blame
interesting to
ourselves.
me, but
Maybe we can only blame ourselves for not making it interesting. But Sonny has got past
oh, I missed that.
Nico Rosbrot. We missed that.
Yeah, I was
And,
following groups around.
It's like Jason has managed to get past Joe as well.
Yeah, Joel and those 9-lap-old mediums who will be nearing the end of their tire life pretty soon.
Yeah,
We'll
he's
have
going to be wanting to
3-4
kind of
laps.
extend that as much as possible. I mean, he started on the hard, so he can go on to mediums again if he wants to. He's got a spare set. But he most probably want to be on the softs for this last stint.
Yeah.
And maybe do a 6-7 lap stint on the soft.
I mean, if you have all 3 tire compounds, why not use them all?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, get the full rainbow collection.
Yeah. Maybe do the hard and do the intermediate and wet stint after it.
Ocean Chief says the race is amazing. They're just dropping true facts.
Oh, and Tipsy Bob
Chat.
says, don't read Hammer. Okay.
Yeah, Dragon's doing extremely well at the moment with his recovery. P6 at the moment.
Yeah, and
As it-
he's definitely gonna get P5 because Granite Goran still has to pit and is probably already gonna get past somewhere soon.
Yeah.
I think around the next straight.
So, Granite and Nico Rosbard are going to be pitting fairly soon in the next couple of laps for sure to go on the mediums, and It looks as though that maybe the hard medium strategy, if they come out now, they're going to be around P14, P15, something like that kind of thing. So it may not be the best strategy, the hard medium.
Yeah,
it may be better to go for the medium in the back.
They'll gain time, but then at some point they will be stuck behind the hard runners, of course. And then you do have to do a lot of passing to get back into the point. So it doesn't look like it's optimal. To make that strategy work, you need some kind of luck, like rain, like I did in 2S, or a safety car at the right point. Then it would have really helped them.
Even a VSC at the right point could make it worthwhile.
A VSC or SC right now would be perfect for the hard runners. At least Granite Gorn and Rosbot, that is.
Yeah, because it would essentially put them on a free pit stop on the fresh tyres in the middle of everybody. Everybody else is going to want to stay out, essentially.
Yeah, that's correct. And we're already in the range that they can go mediums. So they'll be praying for a safety car now. As I see now, I just spotted that Heat has gone on to the soft tire, so he'll be trying to to put that fastest lap in, which I think is still from Icewind with 38 flat. And Oops is still really close to Vicky.
But he has a penalty over Vicky, so at the moment he just probably wants to stay there and pressure Vicky into making mistakes to get Vicky a penalty. Otherwise, there's not really much point in overtaking.
Or pressure him in a mistake so he can overtake. That's also.
Yeah, that's also an option. But the thing is, if he overtakes and Vicky stays on the back of him still, then he'll have an overtake and he's just giving him a toe at the end of the race.
Can you check? Can you check the penalty situation for Legend and Vicky if they have maybe warnings or something?
So Legend's got one warning. Vicky has 2 warnings by the looks of things and 2 invalidated lap times, so maybe close to a penalty. Looks like Oops could be close to another penalty as well, as is Makenda close to a second penalty. Dragon has no penalty, and Sonny has 1.
Heat retired, by the way. So no fastest lap for him.
And he's done that in the pits as well. So
Dragon no penalties is kind of interesting, because if Oops indeed gets another penalty, Dragon he cannot gain time much. But maybe Makender can. Oops is not completely safe for the podium yet, I think.
No, I think Dragon's still in with a shout of the podium as well. With if he keeps those tyres in decent condition till the end of the race, but he is going to slow down drastically soon. In maybe 6 laps.
And Joel as well.
4 laps or so, 3 laps or so, kind of thing. The Dragon's tyres are going to fall off the pace dramatically as well. So they're not going to be. He may be not going to be getting the puncture range or anything like that, but the pace of them is definitely going to suffer, and he's going to find it difficult to keep the car on the track. As well. So if he can keep it together, then he could be looking for a great finish. After incident in the first few laps after the race, was there not? He came in with damage, did he not?
Yeah, he did. That's why we were surprised that he went into the pit. But it just shows you, if you keep your head down and get to it, you can still recover from an early incident. We see also there's also the type of driver that after they had an incident, they kind of give up and retire in the pit lane.
Yep.
But it pays to keep going.
Depends. I mean, it's confidence in your own pace, I suppose, and your own ability as well, because Dragon's obviously got it in abundance, because he gets an incident, gets a 5-second penalty there, and he says to himself, rather than 5-second penalty, changes wing essentially, and says to himself, well, I'm still going to do a 1-stop, I can change my strategy, I can go on the hards, I've got the pace to make up that 5 seconds on a lot of these guys, and he's done that. He's put himself well into the good points paying positions.
Yeah, and he improved so much also over the beginning of the season, Dragon. I think he started in tier 3, but he just got faster and faster and faster every time. Oh, and Fox loses his wing against the back of Gerla. was following that fight around P9, P10, P11 between Fox, Girl and Icewind, and now Fox is, I think he's gonna retire because he's driving really slowly.
Yeah, he just maybe doesn't want to get in anybody's way while he's going to get in the pits to retire because he's got a long lap to go. Do that. Or he's just being very careful with it. He may still continue, we don't know. But going on the softs from here, he's not likely to get back into the points.
Yeah, talking about getting back into the points, Icewind is now in P10 on those mediums, which he still has to extend with 10 laps, which is going to be a real struggle, I guess. It's going to be in
if he can do it, it's the only way he's going to get points, essentially. So he's got to try and stay out on those, essentially. As he does get a little bit oversteering the exit of the hairpin there.
But I do remember that Icewind has quite a few penalties.
He does, yeah.
So then
that won't deter him on track, though. That'll just drive him on even more on track. He's going to try and get past Gerla here, who is on a slower tyre.
Ooh, and Oops gets his second time penalty.
So that's great news for McKenna and Dragon as well. So McKenna could be looking at a podium now because I don't think he's got his second penalty yet.
Nope. But yeah, the gap is 7 seconds. So if Vicky doesn't dramatically slow down and they keep the same gap to McKenna, then it's still safe.
Icewind making his move now on Gerla into turn 1. And they're going side by side here. Gerla's not giving it up easy.
Yeah, but it's not an easy spot on the circuit to make the pass as Fox indeed retires in the pit.
Yep, saw that coming. Icewind picks up another 3-second time penalty in that move.
Not gonna help him.
So he may drop out of the points because Timo behind him. We know what Timo's like.
Probably none.
He has one warning, so Timo looking good for points at the moment.
Yeah, and Vinny pits for fresh mediums.
Guessing he picked up damage there 'cause it's not pitting from a position you would want to pit from.
Nope.
Essentially. So yeah, Singapore, it's ruthless, is it not? The walls, like
yeah,
if
the
you
walls, like
pick up the damage.
That's the thing with those street circuits. You have to be really confident and not be scared of the walls.
Yeah.
Because if you're scared of the walls, you're gonna hit them. Because I think before this season, I finished only one league race on the street circuit, which was one of the Singapore versions, Singapore races I did before. And then every other street circuit I would just crash and retire because I was afraid of the walls. And that doesn't help. It doesn't help with your speed because you'll become too careful, and then in the race when you get around other cars, yeah, it's just, if you're so afraid, you're just gonna make the mistake anyway.
I'm very surprised to see a lot of people as well. Like, one thing that surprised me, well, I got damage in yesterday's race as well, and I was trying to move on a Beaumont, and I went on the outside into turn 1 kind of thing, and between with a car width gap between me and the wall and him, and he didn't expect me to go that side, so he didn't see me, so we made contact, and I had damage for pretty much my entire medium stint. If you stay out, it doesn't affect you that much. If it's light damage, if it's just an end plate, and nobody's doing that here. They're all, as soon as they lose an end plate, that's it. We need to change it. But you can't stay out with minimal damage. If it's an orange wing, yeah, sure, you've got to pit. You're going to lose far too much time, and you're going to struggle to get around the corners at all. But just an end plate is not too bad.
Yeah, I agree.
At all, kind of thing. And if you stay out, the track position that you're holding on to, you can keep that track position pretty handily, even with the damage, because the guys behind you are going to struggle to overtake you if you defend well.
Yeah, I agree. And meanwhile, Icewind got past Nico Rosberg, who's still out on the really, really old hards. But yeah, as you were saying, like minimal damage doesn't really matter much around Singapore. I think in the 2S race I did earlier this week, I had the whole race I had damage.
Yeah.
And yeah, due to the strategy I won that race, but it wasn't really that much slower. I think it was like half a second, and yeah, with track position being so important here at Singapore, you want to keep that time into the pit to a minimum.
Exactly, yeah. I'm wondering here what Nico Rosberg's actually planning here, because 22 laps on those hards, he's very likely trying to go for a very quick soft run in the end to try and get back into the points. But once he pits here, he's going to be down into P14, 15.
Yeah, that's why I think Nico is still kind of praying for a safety car. and that was his
Maybe.
game all along. And if that doesn't work, he just goes for a soft run. But yeah, that would unlikely bring him points, I fear.
But he's suffering so hard at the moment. Those tyres are done. He's lost so many positions.
Yeah.
From being on the back of his teammate Dragon to down 5 positions now.
As I just also noticed, Vicky is now 1.5 seconds behind Legend.
Yeah. So they're really catching up. And maybe it's because Oops has just decided not to overtake. So he doesn't want to overtake Vicky anymore. They can now both catch up to Legend. But Legend still sitting with the most ERS there. But Oops also has 50-60% still. Vicky very low on ERS at the moment, so to catch up, Oops could conceivably win on track if he gets a double move. But obviously he'd lose out with the penalties. But
yeah, it's, the top 3 are really quite far ahead of the rest.
Yeah, McKenda's full 8 seconds behind them. So you'd be hoping really that they all start having a fight up front so he can catch up. But otherwise, it's not going to happen. But Sonny and Dragon still fighting out for this 5th place. Sonny's had a very good race so far. He's managed to keep things relatively clean, get involved in overtakes and make up positions.
Yeah,
Stick to his strategy and keep it together.
He's been really fast around this track in practice sessions and time trials.
Now Oops is going for it on Vicky down the inside. Into turn 5, and he gets it done as well.
And Vicky gets a 3-second time penalty
with that as well. So he's not only overtaken him, he's managed to push Vicky into the mistake that makes him keep P2 as well.
Yeah, if well, he is 6 seconds, and Vicky has 3, I think.
Yeah. So
he still needs to pull a gap of 3 seconds.
Well, the race director is telling me they both have 3 seconds, 1 penalty each. So it looks to me that maybe they're racing on track at the moment. So.
Well, we find out after the race anyway.
Certainly do, but yeah, for the moment, let's treat it as though they're racing on for position.
Yeah, and I wonder if Oops can still close the gap to Legend.
Yeah, he's already putting the hammer down, Oops.
He's putting me down? What? What are you saying?
Figure of speech.
Yeah,
you know
I know. I mean, most times I raced Oops, I was a minute behind or something, so...
I walked into that one though, so fair play.
He's put me down quite often, so. Yeah, he's catching up fast to Legend as well, but Legend still has that surplus of ERS that could help him. That does bring some late spice into the race.
It does indeed.
Legend
he's already very quickly on the back of a Legend here. Legend.
Maybe Legend
had nothing to do for the entire race. Suddenly he's defending all of a sudden. He must be thinking, what the hell happened here? How's he suddenly got all this pace? Has Oops been sandbagging this entire time?
No, I think it could be the difference between the mediums and the hards. Because, I don't know, like yesterday I remember I was pretty fast on the mediums, but on the hards Terror was really, really fast. So
had a better handle on those tires.
It does make a difference sometimes.
Icewind has pitted again, by the way. He's come out again on fresh mediums now.
And P12.
Didn't opt for the softs. So I'm wondering what the decision was, whether he just didn't feel as though he could take the mediums to the end, or whether it was another reason. But he's outside of the points now, and with 15 seconds to make up, he's very unlikely to get back in.
And Futuristic also pits on softs. And Terror asking how many warnings Legend is on. I think he was on 1 warning. I don't know if that's still the case.
It is still the case.
He did burn a bit of his ERS though. He's now down to 49%.
He's now in a fight and he knows it because Oops is right on his backside. And he wants to get past quick as well, Oops, because he needs to create a 3-second gap.
And Joel with the fastest lap with a 36.6 on softs.
Yep.
So they're not going to be beating that. No extra points for the leaders.
Also pitting for the softs to challenge for that fastest lap. So we've got a few people challenging just a little race on their own at the back there for the fastest lap now.
Yes, Oops gonna try here. The gap now already 2 seconds to Vicky.
He's very close to the back of him, and see what...
He doesn't seem to have the straight line speed though.
Nope, and Legend defends the inside at the right time.
they're literally in each other's car.
Yeah, this is very intense racing here. He cannot get past, and if he's not careful, he could end up with some wing damage here,
Yeah.
Oops, and that would be a race over. If he's even more less careful, he could end up ruining both their races.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
about to
Vicky
say.
could take full advantage of that. Vicky doesn't seem to be catching these guys, even though they're fighting. So he's also maybe struggling a little bit on the hards.
As Nico Roswell finally pits and he goes on softs. But that's a little too late, I guess.
Yeah. He's going to be well off the pack by the time he comes out.
Yeah, racing this close does bring a flashback to what happened with Icewind and Vinny earlier in the race.
I've got a funny memory as well of Legend getting ripped here in Singapore because somebody was fighting him too hard last year, and I could be making it up because I really don't have that good a memory, but I have a memory of somebody losing here at Singapore because they hit a very tense race last year in 2019. So is this history repeating itself? I don't know.
Yeah, and the funny thing is both Legend and Oops are now also around the same percentage of ERS.
Yeah.
So the DRS might make the difference if Oops gets a really good exit. As Legend tries to break the slipstream.
He's defending
keeping
the inside
inside
again.
well. Yeah, he's defending really well, Legend. Oops is gonna have to be really creative to force something here. And Vicky's still 2 seconds away. And
Yeah,
Oops will be
he's not
screaming
in
to
it.
get past because he wants to get a 3-second gap that he needs to Vicky.
Yeah, this is going to be a tense battle here till the very finish, but the more they fight, the more it plays into Vicky's hands. Sonny as well is also looking for a move and has been for a while on Dragon, and it just proves how difficult it is to overtake here. You defend in the right places and use ERS and save ERS at the right time kind of thing. It's almost impossible to get past somebody unless you have got major pace advantage. But Oops not giving it up. He definitely has more pace than Legend at the moment. He's quicker than him, even in the dirty air around all these corners.
Yeah.
Oh, Oops makes a big mistake in the Anderson tunnel and he loses an end plate. That's it.
Yeah, that's over.
Challenge over.
And that's gonna bring even McKendor back into play, because Oops has that 6-second penalty. So Oops could even lose podium here.
Yeah. Could be a big problem. I mean, the race director is still only saying 3 seconds for Oops, so
Okay.
but I'm sure I saw it twice.
Yeah,
But,
I'm sure it's twice as well. Yeah, now Vicky gets past.
McKendor also has a penalty as well.
Oops lets him past.
I don't think he's got an option at the moment. That damage
No.
will affect his pace
Ooh,
massively.
and there's another yellow. Is that Larson or Joel?
That's Joel. No front wing whatsoever. He's made a
Oh,
mistake in
dear.
his own by the looks of things. He was nowhere near another car.
And meanwhile, the back markers have decided to go on a soft run, glory run battle by the looks of it.
Yeah.
As Vinny also pits for fresh soft.
Yep, going for a very fast lap there, maybe pushing it a little too hard. Joel's lost his entire front wing, so that's race over for him. Once more.
Yeah, with
Icewind, with his penalties, I don't think he's going to get this get back into the points. Timo at the moment in the points again. Once again showing how important it is just to keep a clean race.
No, the battles we have is Granite Goron and Kurla, and Granite Goron gets past on these fresher mediums. And the other battle we have is Dragon and Sonny, with Sonny still stuck behind, with Dragon on 23 lap old hearts. Say it in the right order. But yeah, he's still holding on to that P5. And who knows what else he might get, as McKendor is already within the penalty range of Oops. If it's 6 seconds. We don't know yet.
So Granite Goron's the only guy who managed to make the hard medium strategy work.
Yeah.
In the end.
Yeah, he's the only one in the top 10. But I think the other hard runners all had some sort of incident, and Nico just went on too long.
Yep. But yeah, Granite's the only one that's managed to get that to pay off for him, starting on the hards. So maybe we were saying earlier that it's not the greatest strategy. Nobody who started on the mediums has done better than Granite Goran, I think.
Nope.
And they all have had their own incidents and things. So, but maybe the hard medium isn't the worst.
Oh,
thing.
and now it's definitely over for Oops as he gets a third.
He's like penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's podium gone for him now.
That brings
I
him
think.
to P5 maybe even.
He's
P6
gonna-
even. The Sonny gets
right.
past Dragon.
Yeah, but he picked up a 3-second penalty
Ah,
earlier
right.
as well. While we were looking at the battle between Oops and Vicky, so I'm wondering whether that's not going to make much of a difference in the end. Because Dragon also has had a very clean race, hasn't he? So 2 warnings to his name at the moment, no penalties, and that's the second one for Sonny.
Ah, right.
Sonny.
So Dragon definitely gonna move up then.
Jason could even still get Sonny on penalties as well if he doesn't have
Yeah.
any.
Jason got a quiet race. It doesn't seem he was lying about his pace around here, which is a
But
bit
no
more than
warnings.
normal.
No warning, so he could, if he gets within 6 seconds of Sonny, and he's only 7/10 off that at the moment by the looks of things, he could jump Sonny on the standings at the end.
Yeah, and Legend now started his last lap. Yeah, he did have a good lead for most of the race, but came under pressure from Oops a couple of laps. But now he has a clear margin of 1.5 seconds on Vicky, who has a penalty as well. So he'll be he can
Ice
cruise
win.
to the wind.
Past Timo on track for the glory, but I don't think he's going to keep that position
No.
with the penalties that he's got.
I think at this point Iceman is just having fun racing.
Yep.
Just trying to enjoy himself and not worry about his finishing position.
Yep, that's a good, because he's probably going to finish outside the top 10 here. But
Ooh. McKendler, by the way, is now only 7/10 off Oops, who's really struggling with that wing damage.
and with that extra penalty, he's got him already, I think.
Yeah, he doesn't need to pass him, but maybe he's gonna pass him
we don't know if
regardless.
McKender knows that. That's the other
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Like,
the thing.
does McKender know that he doesn't need to pass him?
I think he
That
knows
is the
because
question.
if you're like that far behind and you suddenly see that guy losing a lot of time to you, usually you know that.
He certainly knows that he's got damage, and he does get the move done there in
Yeah.
that corner. That's probably the only 2 places that we've really seen that's possible to get an overtake there is is down the main DRS straight just after the first corner, and into that one here, after the second DRS straight, into that right-hander there before the Singapore sling.
And Legend comes around the final corner to celebrate a win. It's been a while since he won a race, but he finally did it, and he wins the Singapore Grand Prix with Vicky in P2, yeah, and McKendler in P3. Oops,
Yep.
provisional P4, and Dragon gets the 4th
Jumps.
place.
Yeah, jumps them both.
Yeah.
Sonny and
What
will
a-
Jason be able to jump Sonny here or not? I'm wondering.
No,
he doesn't.
he's-
No.
Well,
So
what
he
a
stays in
recovery
7th
drive
place.
for Dragon then.
Yeah, driver of the day for me, I have to say.
agreed.
He got that spot on. I would say honourable mention to Granite Goran for making the hard medium work. He gets himself into P8, up quite a few positions in the end. And honourable mention as well for Timo, who's going to get into the points here as well. On
Oh wow.
2 people on points.
Icewind gets even a point, as Gurla has had more penalties than Icewind.
Yeah, so Gerla drops out. And obviously the remaining guys, we don't really care about them. They didn't get any points, so they don't matter anymore.
Nico,
Sorry.
that's a bit. Yeah, Nico last and futuristic.
Surprised there from Nico what he done there. He just got the strategy wrong. He went too far on the hards, and it
I think
really
he was
ruined his race.
really-
If he pitted earlier for the mediums,
Yeah.
he would have been in and around Granite Goran and Timo. So that's really cost him points there in the end.
I
Poor
think as,
decision in the end. Yeah.
we see some people spinning across the finish line. Yeah, I think Nico was just hoping for the safety car.
Safety
He gambled
car,
on
yeah.
that and he lost. Driver of the day, according to the game, is Icewind.
Well, he did start P20 or
yeah.
so, didn't he? So he got a P10 in the end, but I wouldn't give it to him. He spun twice and crashed into the back of somebody. So, sorry, Ice.
For me, it's definitely Dragon with that
Yeah, I
recovery
can't-
drive.
Can't look past him for that. It was a brilliant. He got a lot of overtakes in the mix of that as well, and a clean race as well. No penalties, and yeah, was not expecting him to come P4 after his early incident and damage.
No, definitely.
So yeah, well done, Mr. Dragon, as Kitsune says. P10 for Icewind though. Like, it seems to be that me Chief and Icewind P10. Like it's our position.
Of course. I wonder if Iceland keeps that because of the incident he had with Vinny.
Oh, maybe.
Might set that
We'll
up
see.
as well.
Well, FIA to talk about many things to talk about after this race. I think a few incidents there that may need looked at and things like that kind of thing. But Granat Goran, P17 to P8, great race from him
Definitely.
as well.
Yeah,
Timo P15 to P9.
Timo did again.
Doing what I am now favouring is my favourite strategy. I'm going to call it the Timo strat, which is go slow and don't hit anybody or anything, and that's it.
That seems to
And
work.
don't get any penalties, and you end up with the points 9 times out of 10, even if you're the slowest guy on the grid. Like it works, honestly.
Yeah.
It works.
Definitely.
So
Interview time.
interview time, yeah.
Let's see.
I'm gonna let you take care of the first interview if you don't mind, while I just disappear for a second. If that's
Sure.
okay.
Let's see. We've got futuristic Gerla and Sonny. Let's see what Sonny has to say. Hello, Sonny.
Yeah, hello.
You're live on the interviews. You finished P6, I believe.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Can you tell us a bit about your race and about the strategy and what you were thinking?
Yeah, I mean, a couple mistakes here and there that cost me a couple of positions. I've potentially a podium. First of all, I didn't manage to put a good lap in the quali, even though I finished P5. But yeah, I think I got the lap I did actually was I had one wall sector in dirty air and probably lost some time there. I will leave others to judge, but we'll see. And then during the race, I made the tiniest mistake and lost position to Kubzon early. And at this, it was very tiny mistake, and I couldn't defend well from it. But I decided to just stick with it. He got damage later on, so I was already getting slowed. This track is difficult to overtake, so you need to be patient. Yeah, I did the move when I get the chance, and when I overtook him, I think he was a bit too eager. He thought he can hold this position, but I think he just didn't want to back out, and we kinda collided. And from there, I saw Dragon having damage because I was catching him quite easily, and saw him pitting very, very early. So I thought, by the looks of it, this is easy P5 in the race. At this point, I thought, what can go wrong if this is a standard race? But turns out I decided to pit lap later to have the fresher tires, which was a mistake because on turn 2 I instantly spun when I was defending from the undercut, and this cost me a big time because I came out behind 3 cars that were slower, and I was driving behind slower cars. So Mackinder, which I think I was leading, I was in front of him, and when we came out he was like 5 seconds ahead of me. After I pushed through the slower cars, he was like 7 or 8 seconds ahead of me. So I was out of the fight for the P3, P4 at this point, even though potentially we could make it happen, as I was slowly catching Vicky. So I thought maybe over the race I will catch up to him on the race pace. But the little tiny mistake where I lost like a second in my in-lap cost me a big time, and it was just a snowball effect from this point.
Yeah, you basically answered most of the questions I had in my head, like especially when you chose to go on longer in the pit, because we saw like all the guys who did the undercut all came ahead of the guys they were fighting. Like Vicky jumped Oops in the pit stop, and Mackinder jumped you in the pit stop. But I didn't know you said you spun, or was it like a half spin or like a full spin?
No, it's I just went super wide at the left-hander in sector 1. Just spun when I unstabled the car when braking, and I think the second that I lost there was quite important in terms of on-track position, because without it I would be in front of Dragon, I would be in front of 2 other drivers, and I could be maybe slowly see if I can catch up Vicky and Mackinder which I think Vicky was slower than me on the race pace. I was slowly catching by him. I think I gained like a second over 5 laps or something. So I thought by the end of the race maybe I could get him, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it did seem like it was really difficult to pass for everyone. You were also in a battle with Dragon for quite a while, I think. Yeah.
It was quite difficult because he had less downforce than I did, so I had more draggy setup. So on the straights, he was always running away. Yeah, pretty much it. It was very difficult, and I thought I tried to go for the move bit earlier, and that was the problem because I knew that I need to overtake him fast because I had 3-second penalty and he didn't. Later I picked 6 seconds, but my idea was that I will overtake him pretty soon, quickly after I pitted, so I don't have to worry about it later. But eventually we caught up to the slower cars that started on hards, and he got DRS, I think, for 3 laps, maybe 4 laps. When I had to overtake the slower cars, I had to do it in the like worst part of the track when I was losing time. So I had to catch up to him twice. I had to close 2 or 3 second gap to him twice. So not only did I have to fight him in his DRS, but also I lost the gap multiple times, which was really bad. So moving back, this is the snowball effect I was talking about. The one spin caused me a lot of difficulties over the race, because if I stick that corner correctly, this would be a completely different race. But still quite a good result.
Yeah, you were
P6
still...
is not bad.
Yeah, definitely. Still good points, P6, and yeah, at least it could have always been worse. Like if you pick up damage, then you're probably outside the top 10. So, what do you feel about Russia, which is I think the next race?
Yeah, one of my favorite tracks. So definitely happy to race it.
Okay, then I'll look forward to see you there, and thank you for the interview.
Okay, thank
I'll
you.
track you back now.
Sure.
So is our kebab back yet?
I am back, yeah. Yep. Been back a while. I just didn't want to interrupt asking questions that you might have already asked. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, who next? I think Legend and Jason want to do a joint interview, saying in Discord.
Yeah, we can do that. I'll track Legend in.
Okay, Jason and Legend, joint interview for you guys. Great race for both out there. Some terrific defending from you at the end there, Legend.
Yeah, nice race, by the way. I don't know what happened to you.
Guess he's not here. He's muted at the moment.
No,
Oh.
I'm not.
Can
you hear me, guys?
Yeah, we can.
I've unmuted you. I'm not sure what was going on there. It was muted by me, apparently. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, some terrific defending there at the end. That must have been intense. Tell us your view.
Yeah, well, I got damage in like lap 22, and the guy behind me in the morgue was really, really fast and consistent, and I really had to defend my position. And I think like 5-6 laps later he made a mistake, so yeah, that was the race for me.
Yeah,
Only one warning, so yeah, that was nice.
Was that difficult for you to only get the one warning? Are you really focusing on that, or is that just came natural with the track?
I was actually pretty much focusing on not getting the penalties, because I knew if there was a safety car, maybe I would have lost the P1, maybe the 3-second penalty.
So yeah, definitely something worth focusing on if you're looking for a win of a race. And you were coming into this race kind of losing a bit in the championship. You'd lost maybe you hadn't won the last few races, kind of thing. How does that do? How does that feel for your confidence now going in at the end, tail of the season, that you can win the championship still?
Yeah, I mean, this win really helps me. Like, I'm gonna have a big motivation to win the next races too. I need to catch up on Jason and Makender, of course. So yeah, looking forward to winning the next races.
Speaking of Jason, of course, he's here with us as well. And Jason, not the greatest. You said this wasn't your best track at Singapore. We've mentioned that on stream a few times in the race, and we all thought you were lying and that you were going to easily run away with it with Legend, like you usually do. But you didn't have the best one here. Like,
Nah.
It definitely isn't your track, is it?
No, I don't know. My driving pace felt good enough, but just everyone else was faster than me. Don't know why. Kinda
So-
was a bit. How do I say it? A bit strange with the setup. In qualifying, it was good enough. Like it felt like a good race setup, but then come race, it was not really good. It was really strange. Like I didn't feel one with the car. Like I was always on the limit of the car just snapping totally. So I was driving really careful, and I guess that kind of took a toll on my pace as well. So yeah.
But still, seventh place finish in the end kind of thing. It's points towards your championship haul. We've heard Legend he feels confident going into the next tracks kind of thing. How confident are you that you can keep a hold of that lead? Is this a blip? Are you going to win the next 5 races in a row? What do you think?
I wouldn't be so sure. I don't know what the next races are. It depends on the tracks.
Well, we've got Russia next. Well, how do you feel about Russia?
Kind of meh. And like for racing, it's bad enough, but I don't know about my pace. Haven't driven it in this game, I think, for like many months, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a difficult track I find to get quick on as well. So it takes a bit more than just a 5 laps on TT to get the pace there, much like Singapore. But it's another one of those that if you can keep it clean and together and you've got a good setup for it, it can stand you in good stead. But obviously, those things were missing for you today. But a couple more people to interview and keep going. But you guys are really heating the championship race up. Is there any kind of rivalry between you? Do you like to kind of give a bit of banter back and forth, or is it all friendly and trying to egg each other on?
I'm not friends with Ledger, so I can't say anything about that.
Yeah, of course, we're friends. I mean, we are also rivals, so yeah, there's that.
Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. Thanks very much, guys. Anyway, you enjoy the rest of your evening and good luck next week.
Yeah, see ya.
Yes, yeah.
Who's next? We've got
Bump Wind.
Bump Wind. Has he's changed his name? Yep. So let's bring him in. Bump Wind. Not the best race for you today. You were obviously looking as though you were just having a bit of fun near the end once you'd realised there was nothing left to fight for. But yeah, I can imagine you're feeling a little bit sad about that wee bump as well. Is that the name change?
Yeah, I reported myself for it. It's like at least 95% on me, always the car behind. But yeah, I felt like Vinny just slowed down a bit surprisingly there in the final chicane there, and I could do absolutely nothing to avoid him there. So yeah, it's my bad. But yeah, I put mediums on. I was kind of praying that I could somehow get them to the end, but it became pretty obvious that would not happen. So I just decided like 6 laps before the end that I'll just pit again and have a little bit of fun there. And I was just throwing the car around the final stint, and that was pretty fun though. So
yeah, qualifying didn't go your way today. You ended up on the back of the grid. What happened there? Like, was it a couple of fair few invalidated laps there?
Yeah, it was this and next lap invalidated, and that was it.
Oh.
So.
I was wondering about that. Like, did you invalidate all your laps, or what happened? But you invalidated in the final corner, then.
Yep, and yeah, pretty bad. But I mean, I think I don't know. I had pretty good race pace, I think, but the quali pace is definitely my trouble. Like all of this season, it's been my trouble, and it's on this track. It's somewhat even worse. So I don't really get it because I felt like I was pretty good in the race there. And
you were.
Yep.
Yeah, so I just
Kebab dropped out somewhere. Oh, there he is again.
Discord decided to disconnect me twice in a row and then bring me back. I don't know what happened, but yeah, you were coming back into the race kind of a fair bit kind of thing, and obviously starting on the hards from the back of the grid kind of thing. You got yourself into the points at one stage, but the incident with the wing kind of thing stopped all of that essentially kind of thing. We were saying on the stream at the time kind of thing, because I went for the same strategy as you did, go for the hards if you're starting near the back and try and extend the stint as long as possible, get onto the mediums and do well. But if you have any issues in that hard stint, that's it, strategy over and it's out the window.
Indeed.
So didn't happen for you, but Granite Goran showed it how it was done, kind of thing. And was I right in saying on the stream that he's your fellow countryman, that he's also Finnish?
Yeah, Makander is at least, so.
I think Granite Goran is Swedish, but
Yeah,
enough.
Granit is from Sweden. So.
it's all Scandinavia.
Close
all the
enough.
same.
Close enough.
It's important to get these things accurate, so I apologise.
Yeah. Yeah, but I last stint was kind of really fun because I had like 6 lap and I like, was it 16 seconds to Timo and 18 seconds to Gerla, and I was like, no way I'm gonna be able to catch that, but somehow I did actually do that, so it was, yeah, I guess the fresh tires at the end with the low fuel load was just really fun to drive there the last 2 laps.
The softs with the low fuel, yeah, they could be a OP kind of thing at the end, kind of thing, and it didn't work out for Nico Rosberg, but because he pitted really late on the hards. The hard soft strategy isn't an option either. But
I did the big brain hard medium. Well,
but at least you had fun, and that's what the whole thing's all about, really. At the end, kind of.
Yeah,
So, at least you had fun at the end.
sorry to Vinny about that bump. It's obviously never a good thing to happen. So, but I reported myself for it, and I'll probably get a penalty for that. So it's
Probably
deserved.
will, yeah. So you'll probably be losing the points that you gained today on at the end there, but not
just
worry.
really to fill up the grid today. I was just racing for that. So
It's quickly becoming as well. There was a bit of a reputation every time you came into Tier 2 that you were going to run away with it because you were too fast. You were a Tier 1 boy. You're going to be quicker than everybody else, kind of thing. And people were maybe up until Austria were still saying that, and then since then it's kind of. Maybe they're saying, thank God Icewind's here, he's going to mess it up and I'm going to get a free position now. Do you think that reputation's kind of coming your way now? Or what?
It could be, but I mean, I haven't really won a single race even in Tier 2, so I don't think I'm at least dominating. I might be up there with the fastest guys, but definitely not dominating.
I certainly think your pace is up there with the fastest guys in this tier, kind of thing. But what's lacking at the moment is the cleanliness. At the minute,
yeah, quality at least. It's really quality is my big problem this season, and it's been the trend in Tier 1 as well for me. So
need it.
I don't know what I can do about that for the remainder of the season.
Learn where the white lines are would be my advice. But no, I'm just taking.
I just don't really feel the confidence in quality at the moment. Car.
It's tricky. I mean, I've found the same. Like at certain tracks, especially, kind of thing. I've found the same. Like it's very difficult today. They'll not invalidate your best lap or not invalidate 3 laps in a row and kind of end up with a banker as your end time kind of thing. It's and it's tricky. It's full credit to everybody in the league though, who are competing against, because so many people don't, and that's what makes it so difficult to. Don't make mistakes in quality. That's what makes it so difficult when you do. But yeah, it's interesting the way that it turns out, essentially, kind of thing, because everybody was obviously very scared of you when you came into Tier 2, and it's
it's Icewind 2 Tier 3 confirmed.
I can promise you that won't happen, but just Tier 2 is just a bit of fun for me. I'm unfortunate with the contact today. But because I think that's a very atypical incident for me.
That is unusual for
I
you.
usually don't run into the back of other people, but
that's not it's not your style, to be fair. Like, but and I know that because I've seen you in my rearview mirror, just about to overtake me on plenty of occasions, and you've never hit the back of me. So, and I brake ridiculously early at times. So
of course not happy with that today, but otherwise it was just some track time. Maybe we'll see what I can do in Tier 1.
You got
probably not going to be as we have a few Danny very, very quick.
We'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm expecting
maybe
a little
I'll
bit
see
of
if you get in your head that you don't talk down on yourself.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, well, best of luck in Tier 1 anyway, and in DMR as well, where I'll be racing alongside you again this week. But yeah,
thanks.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. We can't talk to you forever, though.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Icewind.
Take care.
We've got Gerla left, I guess.
Gerla's, waiting for his interview. The Beam Me Up guys aren't waiting for an interview, I'm guessing, because none of those guys are in the race. So bring Gerla in,
Hello, Gerla.
Gerla, looks like you might still be getting a point after all at the end of that because Icewind has yeeted it into the back of Vidi during the race, so he may probably be going to get a penalty after that. Were you aware of that? Is that knowledge by now, or is that news to you?
Yeah, he told me a few minutes ago, but unfortunately, I myself might have some time penalty as well because of my incident with Fox.
Oh. Ooh.
So, yeah.
Oh, so that's how Fox spun.
Yeah, we didn't catch that, so we're not on the stream. So that's news to us. So yeah, more FIA work involved than we initially thought, perhaps. But, anyway, to your race, essentially, kind of thing. It was going pretty well at certain points, kind of thing. But obviously, you've had a few incidents there that have kind of cost you a little bit. Tell us about those incidents and what's gone on.
Well, it was fine. I think I made 2 positions off the start. Obviously, with crystals crashing on turn 3, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So so I was up into P8, but then I had no pace. Like those guys were faster than me, so eventually I lost those 2 positions again, and I lost the 3rd one at the end with Icewind. So yeah, I finished P11. So yeah, I mean I kept it clean in terms of wing damage. I didn't have any damage, but just I didn't have the pace either, so couldn't make much of it.
Yeah, sometimes you just have a circuit which doesn't suit you. I mean, I think we've all been there.
Yeah, China.
So, yeah, with that being said, do you look forward to Russia then? Is that better for you, do you think, or?
Yeah, it should be. Last season in F1 2019, I had great pace at Russia, so I hope my pace is still there. And yeah, I hope I can get some good points.
Fingers crossed, but yeah, it feels very different this game. I've raced Russia on against AIs only, but it feels very different for me this year. There's a bump or 2 that wasn't there last year, kind of thing that bugs me. So yeah, but it feels easy to kind of get pace around Russia, kind of thing. Do you think because of the nature of the track, or is it? Also, with the walls also being there as well. Did you struggle with the walls today? Are you going to struggle with the walls in Russia as much, do you think?
No, I think, as I said, I managed to keep it clean today, so in Russia it should be a little bit easier, I think. So yeah, unless I have contact with someone or something like that, or I lose it on traction, as I've done so many times before. If that doesn't happen, and if I have the pace, I think I can get a good result and finally get some points in the championship.
Yep. So you picked up another point today, or maybe not. Kind of picked up another point. It remains to be seen. But in the championship, what is your aim at the championship at the moment, kind of thing? Because you're stuck kind of firmly in the midfield there at the moment. Is there anybody that you're looking at as a marker to get to, or measuring yourself against?
There was a lot of us close together on points, but I mean, I'm close to Larson, Ronex, who didn't race today. Larson, where did Larson finish actually?
Outside of the points.
Yeah, like P14 or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vicky as well, but Vicky finished 2nd, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
becoming very quick at the tail end of the season now at the moment, kind of thing. Yeah.
There are a few guys that were close on points with me, but I think they're all going past me now.
Well, it only remains to be seen what happens to the rest of the season, but for now, best of luck in the future races.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gola. Okay, I think that was the last of our interviews. So, tomorrow, of course, the big boys in Tier 1 with no assist will fire it up in Singapore. Yeah. So be sure to check the action at, I think, 18:15 they start. On EGL, of course.
Yep.
And then we've got 2 S races on Sunday. I think Tier 2 is at 6 and Tier 1 is after that, but I'm not sure how late. Anyway, be sure to check EGL for the streams. And I guess see you in Russia.
Yeah. Goodbye from me, goodbye from him, and take care of yourselves. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Goodbye.